Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I've talked a lot lately about trying to really stick to a grocery budget, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. What I have been doing lately for meal planning has been life-changing for me. I've never done it this way and I've been loving it. But basically what I did was when we were out west in the car, I just planned a week of meals. So specific meals, like Sunday is breakfast for dinner. And then I wrote specifically what breakfast items. And then Monday, meatless Monday. So we're doing a lentil curry. And then Tuesday, maybe I should just read the list because my brain's not that fresh right now. Okay, and then Tuesday is chicken fajita night. Wednesday is when we have our church's small group. We usually have to bring something for that. And then if we don't have that, it's just kind of just see what I can come up with. I just don't have anything planned there, which maybe I should plan a backup. But then it can also be a leftover night if somehow we have lots of leftovers. So right now it's just either church small group or just figure it out. Thursday is ground turkey lasagna with kale salad. Friday is pizza night with a kale salad. Saturday is an instant pot meal. So I put instant pot buttered chicken with rice and naan, but I forgot I actually have some instant pot meals in the freezer right now. So we've actually just been kind of going through those on Saturday, which is nice because Saturday is usually pretty busy. So it's kind of nice to just throw in a dump and go meal. And then Sunday, I have breakfast for dinner with pancakes, eggs, and bacon. But basically, I take that meal plan and we're just having the same meals every week for a month. I did tell my husband, let me know if there's one dinner that you really don't like, because we're gonna have it once a week for a month. And I, obviously if he's I don't wanna have this again, I'll change it. But that's the plan, is to have it every week for a month. And it's really nice because it really, I really just wanted to streamline family dinners. Yeah, I think my mind was very focused on starting up school and just wanting to make everything, just very streamlined. So I didn't really have to give it much thought, so I could focus my energy on starting homeschool back up. So I really enjoyed this because I really don't have to think about meal planning at all. It's also really nice because since it's literally the same meals every week, I just made one grocery list, literally when we were out west in the car. I just made a grocery list in my notes. On Saturdays, I just go through the list. But the list doesn't change each week. It's the same list for the whole month. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna show all the meals, but I am gonna show just grocery shopping and about how much we spend on groceries. So far the first week, I spent about, I think, $330. And my goal that I have in mind is around $250 per week, but I forget exactly what I got that trip, but I was thinking okay, maybe I had to get more this time because we were just out of town for so long. So there's probably some random things we were out of, I don't know. I didn't really analyze it that well. But the next week I spent $200. So even if this week I have to spend more, the next week I should spend less. Because basically the way I've been doing it is the meat at Costco. It's 6 little packs, but divided down the middle. So I just take half of it for one dinner and then I freeze the other half for the next week. And then same with ground turkey. So really I'm only buying meat every other week, which makes it more expensive some weeks. One thing we did change is on, I think Monday or Wednesday, I don't know. We went to Aldi and just grabbed a couple packs of ground beef because with me being pregnant, I don't want to be too extreme. I typically can tend to go to the extremes and things. Yeah, not having any beef for months is probably not healthy pregnant. And I got blood panels back and it said my ferritin was slightly low, and I've never had that. I'm it's probably because I've been not eating any beef. So we ran to the grocery store and got some beef after that. I just tend to go to the extremes. If I'm really trying to save money, then I'm let's save the most amount of money. So yeah, you may have noticed in the meal plan we have right now, there's 2 meatless days on the lentil curry and then pizza night. Breakfast for dinner has bacon, but for some reason it feels meatless to me, but technically it's not. One change I might make is on Tuesday, we were doing chicken fajita night. I might turn that into ground beef just to kind of get more, at least a little bit of beef in our diet every week. Obviously, like ideally, I would love to eat beef like every day. It's just expensive. So yeah, I think once a week will be a good adjustment. Now I'm just gonna go through my grocery list and see what we need. I've shared in a previous video, we started cloth diapering again. So that's been nice because we don't have to worry about diapers every week. We still buy wipes, but I feel like we don't go through those that fast. Okay, I'm gonna go through this really quick and then we'll go to the grocery store. Okay, I just made a grocery list, so we're gonna get going. Also, it's our, like I've shared many times, on Saturdays, I take one kid to go grocery shopping with me, and it's kind of like our date. So it's my daughter's turn today, and then we've also been, instead of like letting them buy a snack at the store, we just like make something together. So I need to see what she wants to make, because she has a lot of more like creative ideas than my boys. So we'll see. Okay, I just made it back home. Costco was a little crazy today. There was like someone in front of us, their dog food bag like spilled everywhere, and it was just very hectic. We like intentionally went at a busier time because that's when they have more samples, but I don't know if it was worth it today. So, okay, let me find, here's the receipt. So there's a couple things I went off plan today with. One is not a huge deal. I grabbed some dates because I'm around that like point of pregnancy where I just start eating dates every day, which I personally love dates. Like I've seen people say like, how do you get your dates in? I'm like, I just eat them, they're delicious. And then also ground turkey, it was $8 off per package. So I was like, okay, I just have to get some more because I never really see deals like that. So I got 3 packs of ground turkey. That's one of those things that I'm like curious to know, like you guys let me know what you guys do when it comes to like buying bulk food for the sake of it like being on sale. So like for instance, in my situation, if there was just like an amazing deal on ground turkey, you buy it on sale, do you count that towards that month's grocery budget? I mean, I guess technically you would have to, but like it's for saving money in the future months. So I don't know. Let me know down below your thoughts on like, yeah, buying things in bulk if it was like on a really good sale or something and how you handle that. But overall, our groceries today were $226. Well, actually no, total was $262. $226 minus the extra ground turkey. But for everything I got for us, like for this week, it was $226. So let me walk you through everything I got first. We got, how many is this? 15 dozen eggs. Normally we get 10 dozen. These come in like 5 dozen packs. But last week we got through them like pretty quickly and had like a couple days where we didn't have any eggs. So I got one more this week. I also had to get some onions, you know, just one of those random things for a lot of dinners. I got blueberries. I mainly just have these for like my yogurt bowls. I may have shared this before, but my kids mainly eat frozen blueberries, but for me, I don't like, obviously it's the same flavor, but I feel like it tastes different. Like I like fresh. So I always get these for me and then frozen blueberries for everyone else, and they're all happy with that. Ground turkey, I got one big pack. This is like, I think 6.8 pounds. I got one of these for this week, and then I got 2 just because they were on sale. And that's what I'll use for the ground turkey lasagna. And this is like what I was showing you earlier, where I'll take half of it, which I guess would be like 3.4 pounds, and use that for lasagna this week, and then I'll take the other half and use it for lasagna next week. And then I got 1 bag of frozen blueberries. I have been getting frozen mango lately too, just because it's actually cheaper. It's still organic, and it's like, my kids love it. Like they'll just come in and grab a handful as a snack. I've been getting that. Unfortunately though, we go through it so fast. So that'll last us like 2 days maybe. I got 2 gallons of whole milk just for like my morning coffees, random breakfast recipes like pancakes that call for lots of milk, making ice cream. We make ice cream at least once a week. And then I also get this thing of heavy cream, which is like $3, but this could make us like 2 containers of ice cream. Another switch I made this week is I got 2 things of maple syrup because last week we went through it in like the first half of the week. Is that crazy? Like to go through this much syrup in half of a week? Because normally 1 is good for us a week. I think part of it is that since we've been doing breakfast for dinner on Sunday nights, we're like all eating maple syrup. And my husband, you know, he drenches his pancakes with maple syrup, but he can afford it because he's like really great shape. But yeah, so I got 2 things of maple syrup just because we went through it fast last week, and then I didn't have any maple syrup for my coffees, which was a little sad, but it was fine. I also got bacon, and I feel like this was cheaper today. I don't have like the price on everything typically in mind, but with bacon, I thought last time it was like 18 and today it was 14. So it's like for 4 packs of bacon. So this is another thing that I buy this week, but I won't have to buy next week because we'll probably only use 2 of these. And then also apples today. I've been getting the Cosmic Crisp apples just because they're the cheapest apple. But today they had Envy apples and Honey Crisp for like the same price or cheaper. So I got some of those too. I thought we could have like an apple taste test. And then I got this thing of butter. This probably will last us a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. Last week I didn't get butter, and the week before I did. And last week we like ran out maybe halfway through the week. So we're probably at the point where we could use like 1.5 a week, but we'll see. I'll assess at the end of the week if that'll last us. I don't know if I said this already, but we got 3 watermelons. The other 2 are still out in the car because I forgot to carry them in. They were also cheaper today. They were $4.99 for watermelon, and they're like big watermelons. And this year, I don't think I've gotten like 1 bad watermelon from Costco. So we've been eating like just lots of watermelon. This is the last thing, but I got some diced tomatoes. I'll show you, but I basically organized my pantry where it's like, I'll show you right now. Okay, so I basically organized it where it's diced tomatoes over here, which you can see that column's empty. So I very clearly saw that we needed them. These are tomato sauce. This is all coconut milk. And then these are all just like beans and then like some random things like, what are these? Chipotle peppers. There's some tomato paste back there. But yeah, so it's made it simpler to where I can just quickly look and quickly see like, oh, we're like totally out of diced tomatoes. I need to go grab those. So yeah, that's like another thing I've done to simplify our groceries lately. So let's think. So I think the first week I spent $3.30 and then $2.10, I think. And then what's today? Today was like $2.60 if I have to count the turkey. So I'm at $800 so far for 3 weeks. So yeah, for my grocery budget, I budgeted $1,250. I would love to see if we could get it lower. Oh, I think I forgot to mention the ground beef. So I did decide this week to get ground beef, and for our like fajita night, instead of chicken fajitas, we're gonna do ground beef. I will say this does make me want to do an Aldi versus Costco comparison even more, just because the ground beef was like $5.99 a pound, and that's the same at Aldi, but at Aldi it's like better quality, it's like grass-fed, whereas the grass-fed beef at Costco was like $6.49, I think. It is just hard like shopping at Aldi. We just have to get so much of everything, but it'd probably just be like a one-time adjustment. So yeah, I think maybe in a future video I'm gonna like go to Aldi and just like price things compared to how much it would cost us at Costco. For chicken fajitas, it calls for peppers, but I realized like my garden actually is producing peppers pretty well. So I'm gonna try. I don't think any are like ready yet, but hopefully they'll be ready at like some point this week. Also, I think I'm the only one that really likes the peppers anyways. I was like, I'll just try to like benefit from the garden for that. We have been getting like so many tomatoes from the garden, which is really just like, you know, a fun little snack. But I have made like tomato soup one day. And then what we've been doing the day after we have lasagna is I make enough pasta to where we have enough pasta for like lunch the next day. I make it like fresh milled kamut pasta. We've been using like the leftovers of that the next day and then like having it with like, I'll just make a quick kind of tomato sauce with tomatoes from the garden. So that's like another kind of like lunch idea we've been having. But maybe I'll do like a whole video on like breakfast we're having and lunches we're having, because this really all, well, everything I talked to you about is dinner, but all of this will also cover our breakfast and lunch as well. I'm really just trying to rely like heavily on grains. So we'll have like lots of oatmeal, and I put eggs in our oatmeal for protein. We'll have pancakes. Let's see, what's our other go-to breakfast? Like Dutch babies. But yeah, so expect future videos from me on like what we have for breakfast now, like trying to be more strict on a budget for lunch. I'm also trying to like once a week do like a big baking day where I make granola and bread and muffins, just so like my children can have things to grab from the freezer. But then also like we eat a lot of yogurt, which we didn't buy yogurt today because we actually had enough still. I feel like granola makes yogurt feel more like a meal than just like a snack. I'll like show you my baking day and all of that. But I need to put these groceries away. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I post videos every Tuesday, and I'll see you in the next one.